Hi everybody, it's Joni here. Welcome back for another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to paint a sunset landscape with some cool leaves and weeds here in the foreground. We're going to be working on 10 by 20 canvas today. It's been double primed and stretched. I have the following colors here: titanium white, burnt sienna, naphtha crimson red, lemon yellow, phoenix violet, phthalo blue, and bright aqua green. The brushes I'll be using today are a 20 flat brush, 1-inch mop brush, a number 3 round, a 14 filbert, and a 2 rigger. I'll have links below for my brushes and the paints, as well as my Patreon. So if you guys are ready, let's jump in and get started. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of water to the canvas. I'll take my flat brush and just spread that around evenly. This is going to help me blend my acrylics out. Okay, we're going to start off with some yellow, and I'm going to add an oval right here. I'm going to keep it white inside, and I'm just going to work out the rest of that yellow. I'm going to take some white and I'm going to just swirl that around, partially over the yellow and partially over the white in the center. And then a final coverage of white right in the middle. I'm going to rinse all of that white and yellow out of my brush. The yellow is not a big deal to have in the brush because we're going to be picking it up again with the red, but I wanted to get the white out so that we don't make pink. Okay, so I'm going to continue taking some yellow here, and I'm just going to keep adding that around. Once we add a little bit more yellow and cover a bit more of this canvas, we'll start coming in and adding some red. The red over top of part of the yellow will give us another shade of red, even like a bright orange, and then we'll gradiate to red and then to the burnt sienna. Okay, so let's take our red now, and I'm going to start on the outer edge here. And then we're going to start to blend that in to the yellow. So the trick is to apply most of the paint on the outer edges, and then by the time you get to more central here, your brush will have barely any paint left in it, making it easier to get a nice faded look. I'm actually just going to take the rest of the yellow here. I'm not going to be using it for anything else. So we're making the yellow area smaller. Okay, now we're going to take our burnt sienna and add that around the corners and partially into the red Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush out. So my brush is just a little bit wet, and I'm going to work some of this red into the yellow a little bit more. It's actually starting to dry, so I'll just go and mix some of that red with the rest of the yellow. And I'll start here. And gradually bring that in. I'll rinse my brush out. And with a damp brush, I'll blend that out some more so it just fades into the yellow. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is come in with my mop brush. No water, just paint right now. And I'm going to load it up with some purple. And I'm going to start tapping all along the bottom. Okay, now that this is dry, I'm going to add yellow on top of this dried area here. We're going to glaze over that. I use my flat brush, and I'll do one side first so we can compare how it looks to the other side. Now you can use a little bit of water if you want to, just to help spread the paint around. But just keep in mind, the more water you use, the more diluted and pale the color will be. I'm going to keep it red there and not add the yellow. But see how richer it looks here? Just more saturated. I'm going to add some to the left now. And the top. Just rounding this sun out because it was more of an oval shape and I want it to be more round. So I'm just taking off a little bit on either side. And I'm going to take my filbert brush. There's some areas here where the purple is really thick. It didn't completely dry yet, so it may look a little bit shiny through the screen. That's how you can tell if it's still wet. But I'm just going to mix up a little bit of white with that. And I'm going to start adding some color. So I'm going to just gently push and then let off for some leaves. Push, let off. Then I'll take some more purple and I'll add it here in the center for stem. You really want to load the end of your brush. So if it starts to work its way into the gold ferrule part there, just work it off. You can also start from the outside. I'm going to take a little bit of blue. And start adding some more. Oh no, this is going to dry a little bit darker, so I'm going to add a little bit of white in here. I want to make my brush nice and flat and narrow, and then load it. So barely any pressure, just the tip, and then gently push and then let off. Take a little bit of white. And we'll add a stem. And I'm going to start adding a little bit of green to my blue. Let's add a stem first. I'll make these ones a little bit narrower. have them gradually start to get a little bit bigger. So they're more in a V shape here, coming in towards the stem. And then they're going to start to straighten out. Okay, I'm going to come in and add a little bit of white. And you can pick any colors that you want to paint your leaves with. But with a bright background like this, the colors really, really pop. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more blue and green. Making these leaves a little bigger. Because what will happen is the paint will keep pushing its way down here every time you push with the brush. It works its way down in the ferrule and then it gets dried in there and then it ruins the brush. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more of my purple here. I'll have that one kind of curling over. Okay, then I'll take some white and push and pull in. I'll add a little bit more to these ones here. I'm going to use my little round brush now. Some purple. And add the stem. And just connect all those little leaves. Then I'll take some blue green. Do the same sort of thing here. Okay, I'm going to take my lighter brush now and some purple and some blue, some water. Make sure you have lots of water in this brush to help release the paint out. And we'll just start adding some stems. I'm going to use the round brush now. And I'm going to take some purple, blue, and a little bit of white. We'll start with a little dab here. And then start curving over. Same sort of idea as the other ferns. These are just going to be a little bit flowier. I'm going to take some green and blue, start adding some here. Start with a dab, gradually make them a little bigger. And take a little bit of white, make some a little bit lighter. Start coming in with a few little ones here now. And dipping into a little bit more of the purple with the blue, a little bit of white. It's one of those really, really relaxing paintings. You kind of just get into a very relaxed state of mind. Little dab, white and turquoise. And pull into a little bit of the blue now. This is where you got to decide if you want to, how much you want to overlap or just kind of sneak in between the other petals or leaves. It's very much like painting flower petals. putting a little bit of that phthalo blue in here for the little stem. I'm going to add a periwinkle or blue violet, same sort of color. So blue, white, and purple. And this will be our last one. So add a little dab, dab, dab. Gradually start to make them a little bit bigger. Remember, you want that paint to be on the tip of your brush. You could use the filbert brush as well for some of these bigger leaves here. We just added a tiny bit of water. So the paint's starting to get really thick and dry. I'm going to add a little bit of white and purple. And then I'll mix up some yellow, turquoise, and white. a little bit more blue and turquoise. I'm just gonna overlap some of these leaves. Just want to leave a little bit there. And then I'm going to finish this painting off. By adding the last little dabs of blue right in there. Ooh, I really like the energy of this painting. It's got some emotion in it and a lot of movement, color. This was really therapeutic. Felt kind of healing to paint this. Hope you guys enjoyed this one too. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys all very soon in another video. Don't forget to check out the links below where you can join Patreon, unlock hundreds of exclusive tutorials that are all commercial free, and have a look through more videos and my paint and my brushes. See you soon. Bye.